It's no lie that I absolutely love to ride my downhill bike, but there is certainly times when I wish that this thing was a little more playful. So today we're going to try and make that happen by fitting a set of single crown forks to this bike. Who knows what's going to happen? This idea has been boiling for a while, and it's actually inspired by Brandon Semenark, who fitted a single crown to his downhill bike for Rampage, which enabled him to do bar spins and tail whips. Obviously with the triple clamps you've got a lot of strength up front, but especially at bike parks where you've got a lot of jump lines nowadays, there's definitely been a few times recently where I've been wishing that I could throw a few tricks in there. Within this box we have got a basically brand new set of Fox 38 single crown forks. Should we just get them fitted? I'm kind of a bit eager now I've got them out. I'm stoked to get them on and see what they're going to look like, because I think it is actually going to look really cool. The triple clamps are out the bike, and actually holding both of them here, these are a tiny bit heavier but not a huge deal in it. It's now time to fit these. Right, they're in the bike now, and we were so lucky with the spacing here, it worked perfectly. There's just enough gap for the top cap to get a good pinch, so yeah, we didn't have to play around too much, which is awesome. Now we've got to fit the bars, because obviously the triple clamps are direct mount, these ones aren't, so we have a new set of bars going on. I need to borrow a wheel off the e-bike freestyle bike, because that axle is a different size to what was being run on the Fox 40s. Bike's done, and it actually looks so cool with these. It's kind of like a really aggressive enduro bike, so whether that's good for tricks or not, who knows, but we did encounter a few teething problems along the way. I kind of feared that the rear brake hose wouldn't be long enough to do a full rotation so you can do bar spins and tail whips, and unfortunately that is what actually happened. Obviously the gear one was never going to be long enough. However, this frame actually has thread in the side of it randomly, so I have managed to make a little unit that kind of keeps it out of the way, but it does mean that for today the bike is going to be run brakeless, which depending where we go next could be quite scary, but we are going to be able to test out the core principles and the core changes of the bike without the brakes. It's just going to be a bit terrifying. Other than that, the conversions worked absolutely perfectly. I've switched the seat up, I've got the S2 dirt jump saddle, so it's nice and wide, good for clamping, spinning the bees and jibbing and all stuff like that. And then we put the sleeper grip on, which for bar spins is a bit nicer without the lock-on collar there. I find on all lock-ons when you do a bar spin, the collar hits you in the hand, so we've got a nice clean finish there. And it's ready to ride, so I think we should load it into the van and go to a bike park somewhere and test this beast out. The bike's fresh out the garage and straight into the sand pit, which is Pehonix Cycleworks. I had to be quite selective today as to where we ride because I'm brakeless, but the mulch setup behind us is perfect because you don't brake on the way in and you don't need to brake on the way out, so it's actually perfect for this freestyle bike, and it's a perfect place to start trying a few tricks. So I'm going to go up there, hit it, see what the bike feels like, and then we can see what happens from there. Right, making our way up the roll-in then. I'm excited to try this. If it rides as good as it looks, then I'm going to be pumped and I'm going to be so stoked because it looks so good. Right, time to drop in then. Let's see what this bike is all about. Oh, it's scary brakeless actually. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Fast exit. That was sick. Obviously, I've only done one jump on it, but straight away, for some reason, the geometry feels better with the single crown fork on it. I don't know why. It kind of drops the front and makes the bike feel more even. I'll be interested to see, because one of the problems I have with this bike is always the rear shock being too soft. I'll be interested to see if somehow by changing the front forks that's adjusted the leverage to make the back feel less squidgy. Who knows? It's quite technical. Let's go back up, and I think we can do a suicide no hander already. feels really odd to be this playful on a downhill bike, but it honestly feels absolutely amazing, apart from the brakeless situation, which is kind of scary actually. Even though I've got a good run out there and I can just go up the hill and could stop, it just feels weird coming at a jump with no brakes. I think it's time for a bar spin though. That's what this was set up for today really, and I think third running of the day, we've kind of reached that point already, so let's go up there and see what it's about. Let's have a little practice of a manual bar. Oh, it feels good. Bar spins with no brake feel really good because basically when you bar spin, you like roll your hand around it like that. And when you have all levers and everything on here, it gets all caught. So, in theory, this could even be more of a bar spin machine than my jump bike, because not only is that point, but also you've got the clamp, so the bike should be really stable. Here we go then, let's bar it. Oh, it's so playful. Hopefully it's playful for bar spins. Oh my god, my feet! Oh my god, my feet! Oh! That was sketchy, wasn't it? I think we get one tolerant one though, where it's a little bit wobbly. I'm going to go straight up and do another one. I'm not going to lie, I don't really like riding it brakeless, it feels horrific, but I think that a Sui to bar could be on, which would just be so sick, because what we've got to remember is although it doesn't feel good today without the brake, when I get a long enough hose and can bleed it up and get it put on the bar, these are tricks that we might be able to take to the trails, which would be insane, because when we was in Schladming, for example, there was 99 jumps and they were all quite steep, so you would be able to do bar, oppo bar, Sui, all these tricks. Unlocks a whole new world, and we're about to unlock one now. I think that's definitely on. Oh. Oh. Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
Did that even count? It was so small, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, I think we should put the camera in slow motion and get a good one. That was sick. Sui to bar is a trick I haven't actually done for such a long time, and it does feel really good on this bike, but it's actually kind of unrideable almost with the brake and the thing fitted here. So we put the brake and the gear shifter back onto the handlebars. They're in the correct place now, and it's time to do some riding, do some lines, and just see what the geometry of this bike actually feels like, because it's hard to get a proper feel for it on just one jump. Right, this line's going to be nice because it's a tailwind, and halfway down the line's actually shut because the trail builders only just finished it, but they're here and they've said that I can use it. So if you see a cone, obviously don't ignore it like I'm about to. But wow, honestly, this bike feels like my little jump bike. Like, it's ridiculous. So I've gone far. That is so cool. Apart from that rear shock being a bit squidgy, we had to work to get a manual. But this is a bit where we just, it's all new. Yeah. Whew. Honestly, this bike is absolutely insane. I would say again, like teething problems, and I mention this all the time, the rear shock needs to be a bit stiffer. I can just feel in some of the pumps it's obviously absorbing it, but it is a downhill bike, and maybe if you were jibbing in like a more rocky downhill environment, then this shock would be perfect. Who knows? But we're going to go up there and hit this line. It is into the wind, but we're going to try to do some tricks and see what's possible. Right, dropping in. there we go, what a run to wrap this video up. Unfortunately, the headwind whilst I was filming that section got insane. I wanted to do some tricks on the bottom ones, but it was actually hard enough to just even clear them. But let's evaluate this bike. It feels amazing. I really like it. I want to try it somewhere a bit bigger, like Bike Park Wales on the Vanta line. It's probably the perfect machine, I reckon. And I just need to get a new brake hose so that can be longer, and then I'll be able to do bar spins with the front brake, with the brake on the bike rather than running the brakeless, which was scary. So let me know what you guys thought. If you did enjoy it, please give us a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a